This is the missing link to all of your training. Now, a lot of people might think that it has to do with progressions. Well, it's not, and I'm not going to tell you what it is until the end of the video, but I actually will go into quite great depth on a lot of different progressions in this video. I'll take it for Powerbatics that our students use every day at Pacific Rim Athletics. And it has nothing to do with this. This is just a trick problem. And we'll start off with something very basic that everybody knows about, just a simple lunge. Now, the way that we do a lunge is just like this. Legs are in a right angle, toes are all forward, heel is up on the back leg. Then the hollow hold that I talk about in all my videos, hollow core, arms on the ears. In reality, it doesn't matter how much weight you put on your back. It's about physical alignment to generate power. We're gonna keep going from there. This lunge is actually a prerequisite to strong tumbling. You wanna be able to be in a strong lunge that generates power moving forward, and this will eventually turn into a round off, and then a back handspring, and then a back flip. Now, what's really interesting is that all of these shapes apply all the way down the line. And so when we start our training, we start with a warm-up that includes all of these different moves as sort of ABCs that we can put together to build words, and then those words become sentences, and then the whole language of human movement. As an example, I learned this from my fighting instructor a long time ago. To throw a proper punch, a lot of people think it's about a quick hand or transferring the weight or things along those lines. In fact, it has nothing to do with arm punching and snapping. It has nothing to do with how fast you are, how much weight you can push, but it's about physical alignment. Basic biomechanics starting with that lunge. Now, instead of lunging like this, okay, and going into tumbling, we're gonna just stand up a little taller. But that tumbling carries straight over into fighting, and vice versa. It's all about power generation. And all of this has to do with human movement, for everything from walking the dog to going on a hike to athletic training. So instead of the arm punching like this, how about just turning the toes in the direction that we're actually going, just like the lunge, not bending so much, but standing taller, knees going the same direction, hips on that same line, shoulders on that same line. Instead of the arms on the ears, just bend the elbows and bring them down next to your body. Extend your arm like this, and instead of, again, arm punching like this, just that. That simple motion of understanding the mechanics of that lunge transfers into massive power generation. And we're not done yet. And then we're just taking these principles and applying them to other skills. And in this case, it's just gonna be a front flip. Going from the lunge, toes going the same direction, lunging in, kick, over, and standing. And you notice all the same principles, especially if you slow the film down. And so here's a challenge that anybody can try. 100 lunge pulses on each side, taking into consideration where the toes are pointed, the angle of the knees, right angles, the hollow core, the arms on the ears, the fingers pointed, and looking out in the direction that we're going. 100 lunge pulses without stopping, no water breaks. Oh, and each side. But a bad habit that people have is that they use videos as a security blanket. We get messages from people all the time, and a lot of folks will say, do I have to film myself? Is it a requirement to put myself on video for your team, for your physical therapists and coaches? Or people are concerned about how much does it cost, et cetera, et cetera. Or people complaining, projecting their age onto other people, saying they're too tall, they have short T-Rex arms. Or everybody's so worried about all their aches and pains all the time. And I hear that all the way down to 15-year-olds, all the way up from there. And people are so focused on all of the negatives, all the things that they don't have, all the pain points in their own life. They focus on those things and then they're not making any progress. instead of ripping the security blanket off, diving into coaching, diving into community, and diving into progress. But my job is not to change minds. That's between them and God. But my job is to create a little mini universe that we call Pacific Rim Athletics. And you'll see all of our students progressing. And they're at all different levels, from beginner, working through all kinds of past injuries, overcoming age, overcoming past obstacles. You'll see a whole spectrum of people in the intermediate zone, all the way up to people training for some of the most advanced skills you'll see, way beyond things that even I can do. Yeah. The second move is gonna be one, again, that everybody knows, just a basic push-up. And push-ups can be done at all kinds of different angles. It really doesn't matter, especially whenever you think about the angle of the arm in relation to the torso. So whenever we come up like this, does the angle change a whole lot? No, not really. Does it change a lot whenever we start floating like that? No, not really. Does it change a lot whenever we start floating like this? A little bit, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. But that's the goal. We want to be able to hold a handstand and to be able to control your body from any angle. And here's one that everyone can do, and I'll call this the pushing challenge, and I want all my coaches to do this too. 60-second frog stand. You can't do a 60-second frog stand, you don't have upper body strength, in my opinion. And being able to hold a conversation. If you're starting from the point where you can't lift your feet off of the ground, then it's probably gonna take you a number of months to build the mobility that you need in your hips, in your wrists, to be able to do this position. If you're already in this position, then it's gonna take other pieces that you might need that might be very unique to you. But of course that we can solve with differentiated instruction and coaching. And I mentioned that this video is about the missing link in your training. And you've noticed that we've talked about a lot of progressions already, and you've seen several progressions right here with the push-up all the way up through to the handstand. But that's not the missing link that I'm gonna share with you. But one critical element for going from a frog stand all the way up to a handstand, or from the basic lunge all the way up to a front flip, or from sedentary to hiking, to playing, to running around, enjoying life, involves this one critical piece. And this might not be something that we want to hear, but I've got to say it anyway. We have to be doers, we cannot be dabblers. Each one of our students at Pacific Rim Athletics was either already or they took the steps to transform into a doer. And now you see the kind of transformation that's really possible. But a lot of people won't talk about what it really takes. And what it really takes is you. In honest fact, all of the videos I make, you don't need any of it. You can do it, but it starts with one thing. You've got to become a doer. That's it. Now, the coaching and the community, hey, we're designed for those things. We're designed to be in community. We're designed to be learning from one another and achieving higher levels of potential. If you're not growing, you're dying. And then the third move is another one that everybody knows, just a pull-up. It can be done in an undergrip, it can be done in an overgrip, it can be done slow, it can be done fast, it can be done however you want to do. And it can be connected to a lot of other skills that are just plain fun to do. Now here's the secret. Yes, you need progression, but you also need a goal. Now, a lot of people will say whenever they're asked about their goal, oh, I want to be healthier, I want to be stronger, I want to have a better life. Those are very, very general things that's very easy to wrap a security blanket around. But remember that transformative aspect of going from being a dabbler to becoming a doer. That's a mindset shift. And in there lies the opportunity to set a goal and then start working through progressions to hit that goal. Whether it's physical training like this with us or any other goal that's in this world. But what a lot of people will do is they'll say, oh, this is not for me. This is too much to do. This takes commitment. This takes effort. This takes time. Yes, it does. And it takes a lot of hard work. And anything that's worth anything in this world is worth that effort. The opposite is also true. Everything that's free, cheap, and easy is also worth exactly that. And then the pulling challenge. just hanging above the bar for 60 seconds in any kind of grip that you want to use. But if you're starting to see where I'm coming from and you're making that shift, going from being a dabbler to becoming a doer, making those mindset shifts that are hard. I admit it, they are hard. But if that's where you are in your journey and you want to keep making progress, you can definitely message my team. You probably got a lot of questions and they'll be able to dive much deeper with you. And if you do perchance start training with us, then you'll be able to build a goal, a game plan, and then start gaining progress in your physical training and most importantly, your mindset and all of life. See you in the next video and in training soon.